This is Super Yacht News with E. Sisman.
In association with Go Earth, navigating boat buyers to better deals.
Hi, welcome back to the channel. So we've got video footage here of a high-speed ferry, also known locally as a ferry speedboat, is slowly starting to sink in the Maldives on Sunday morning. So the ferry was travelling from Digua Island to the capital, Malé, on Sunday morning. The trip on the fast-travelling ferry was said to be approximately an hour and a half in length from start to finish. However, approximately 45 to 50 minutes into the trip, after leaving the port on the island, the vessel was hit by a strong wave. Well, actually, the eyewitnesses said that it was hit by a strong wave early on, but about 45 minutes into the trip, the vessel started to have problems. The vessel was, as you can see in the video footage here, was still traveling at quite some speed, over 20 knots, but you can see the vessel rolling, and the passengers are pointing the camera to the floor, showing that there's water ingress into the cabin. The eyewitnesses claim that the captain didn't give any instructions, which made people start to panic. Life jackets can be seen being handed out. These are inflatable type life jackets. Some said that they were faulty and didn't inflate. I guess in the panic it could have been possible that some of them people just didn't know how to work them, but it's possible that some were faulty that probably haven't been used for years. Some passengers were starting to panic as they tried to put on these life jackets, and some of them said that they couldn't swim. Now, most of the people on board were travelling back to Malé to go onward to the airport to fly out of the country, and they were travelling with 1 or 2 suitcases each on top of the 45 passengers and 3 crew on board the vessel. And we don't know if overloading could have been a cause of this issue, of this sinking. Around 8:40 a.m, the captain finally told everybody to jump in the water, and around 9 a.m, so about 20 minutes later, the first rescue boat was on scene. However, the sea conditions were quite poor, meaning that they struggled to pull people up on board the vessels. The ferry sank in just 5 minutes after everybody abandoned ship, according to one of the eyewitnesses. Now, the good news is everybody was rescued from the water, including 4 children, although it took about 90 minutes because of the bad weather. The good news is the water was probably quite warm, because it's quite warm out there right now. I know that sounds like a throwaway comment, but it can actually mean the difference between life and death. In cold water, you can only last for a few minutes, whereas in warm water, you can last for a few hours. Now, we're going to have a look at the footage. I'm going to point some things out. Before I do that, I want to say that obviously I wasn't there. I don't know the circumstances of the incident, and there could be reasons for the decisions made that I'm not aware of. So I might be saying one thing and they might have already dismissed that because of other reasons. But if you look at the footage, it's hard to understand why the pilot/captain is still going at such a high rate of speed when the vessel is clearly filling with water. You can see the wake as the person pans around to the stern. You can see the wake of the boat. They're clearly traveling at speed, 20-25 knots, I would say. The vessel's clearly taken on water. As that person pans down, it shows that there's water under their feet, so that's clearly leaking into the vessel, potentially into the engine room as well. Vessel's also rolling heavily from side to side, and you can also see that the water is almost up to the windows, which is not normal, obviously. So the vessel is already starting to sink, but the guy continues to travel at high speeds. You can also see inflatable life jackets being handed out to everybody on board, and yet the pilot is still traveling at these high speeds. Now, quite a number of media outlets have said that the incident was caused by the wave flooding the engines, but we can see that the vessel is traveling at speed in rough weather whilst taking on water. So I don't think that is really what happened here. So the vessel's already struggling. The engine room finally probably filling with water, and that was just the last straw rather than the cause of the incident. The methodology of the pilot seems to be, it's like we're running out of fuel, so let's drive faster to the fuel station kind of thing, instead of let's slow down, keep the vessel afloat, call a mayday, get some help out, and keep everybody on board. You know, we've saved the people, we've saved the boat, we've prevented the passengers from losing all of their belongings, which is what happened. A lot of them had their passports with them and laptops and diving gear and stuff like that. And they had to abandon it all to jump into the water. I know that stuff can be replaced, but, you know, if the person hadn't been driving so fast and slowed down or stopped and called one of their other boats in or an emergency vehicle, they could have probably got everybody onto that without anyone going into the water. Now, maintaining the vessel afloat obviously is the priority because that would make everybody safer, right? Now, luckily in this scenario, nobody was killed, nobody was injured, not that seriously, nobody drowned, but it could have been much, much worse. If you've got any more information on this, any video footage, please be sure to get in touch. The only footage we could find was the one video which has been used on many, many media sites. All right, we've got one more story before we go. According to a post on Instagram from Rev Ocean, the vessel has now officially left the Vard shipyard in Norway, the one where it's been for the last 4.5 years, 5 years maybe. It's heading to the Damen shipyard in the Netherlands for its final outfitting. According to their Instagram post, it says this marks a major milestone and Rev Ocean is closer than ever to setting sail on her first mission in 2027. So there you go, 2027, bringing together scientists, policymakers, and innovators to tackle ocean challenges like plastic pollution, climate change, and overfishing. So yeah, that's good news on the way there. So hopefully we'll see that vessel looking completed in the next year or so. Now, one last thing before I go. In the last video, we posted that story with the audio recording of the person talking about what happened allegedly on the Loon tender. Now, in the video, there should have been closed captions or subtitles, depending on where you're from, is what you call them. We did create subtitles for that video because we know it's kind of hard to understand because we had to disguise the voice, right? Unfortunately, the video wasn't exported properly, so those subtitles are missing. So it was a mistake on our part. So apologise for that. Now, what we've done is we've uploaded a shorter version of that video to our other channel, the Super Yacht News channel. It's about 8 minutes long, so we've shortened it down so you don't have to watch the whole thing again. But the subtitles are definitely there this time. We've checked. So we'll put a link in the description, maybe one in the top corner as well, so you can go there and check it out if you're still not sure what was said in that video. All right, guys. Be sure to check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/esysman. We do loads of videos on there. We've done 2 this week, just did one this morning, talking about the Loon thing, but in a little bit more of a relaxed format. And there's other news in there as well about travels and plans for the year. There's all kinds of other stuff on there as well, like behind-the-scenes stuff, technical things on yachts and Atlantic vlog series and stuff like that. So be sure to check it out, patreon.com/esysman. If you've got any information for us, send it. If you're sending text, news@theyachtReport.co.uk. If you want to send photos or video, please do not send it through Facebook Messenger. It's a nightmare to try and download, and it comes through very low resolution. Send it using this link on screen. It's theyachtReport.wetransfer.com. You don't need an account. You can just upload it straight there and send it to us. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Be sure to like the video and all that stuff, and share it with people who you might think might be interested in this video. All right, guys. Catch up with you soon. Bye-bye.